So I'd love to hear, I guess, just in your mind, why you choose to do what you do and what it is to live this minimalist lifestyle. Because like you mentioned, and well, maybe we haven't covered enough, you live a pretty minimalist lifestyle. From my understanding of you don't acquire and retain a lot of things. You stay very mobile at times. I have no idea how many nights you sleep out of your car and just traveling around. But, I guess just explain a little bit of your thought and the benefits of living this more minimalist lifestyle.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think there's like so much more to life than like accumulating a lot of things so that we could be comfortable one day at like some indeterminate point in the future when we can retire. Like if you just live simply, you can, like my philosophy is like live simply, and then you can kind of be, semi-retired all the time. And, I retire like every couple months for a month or two, and like, have a like a minimalist enough life that I could kind of make that work. I could like, move into a place and then like sublease my room or just like put the amount of stuff that I have in storage, or just like put it all in my car and leave, and then go and like enjoy that same, like like that iconic backyard that you could have with that cabin that you save up your whole life for by just going out someplace plopping down on some public land and sitting on the tailgate of my car and watching the sunset and cooking a simple dinner on a camp stove. That's pretty magical. But there's pros and cons to all of it. And I'm not saying like this is the only way, but it's the way that I'm kind of finding that works for me.
Well, let me ask this, because I think one of the best ways to view life is to try to fast forward life and then look backwards. So, like, let's say we fast forward your life, Sam, 10 years down the road, and if you were to turn around and look backwards, would you have regrets living this way?
Absolutely not. No. I wouldn't have regrets, but I mean, I think that some people might say that I should have regrets, because 10 years from now, I probably still won't like own very many like worldly things that have value. And like, the things that we're kind of taught that we should be like working towards. I probably won't own any of that, but I will have like lived a very full life and have like tons and tons of experiences. And I think those are more infinitely more valuable than like a house that you have a mortgage on, for instance. Not that I wouldn't appreciate like some housing stability every once in a while too.
Yeah. No, I think that's really interesting, because I'm remembering, I don't remember if it's a quote or a study that I read that just talked about how, I believe it was a nurse was just always asking people in a nursing home as they were coming to the end of their life, like what they regretted the most. And most of them said that, they wish that they'd worked less, essentially. That was like one of their biggest regrets in life, was just working too much. And I have, it's such an interesting dynamic, right? Because in a lot of ways, like I'm an employer, right? So it's like I need people to work. I can't be sitting here like on this podcast being like, all right, everyone, we don't need to work anymore. Like, come and go when you please. And like we wouldn't do too well. But at the same time, I think there's so much value in the experiences that you can make and optimizing those. And I focus a lot on getting the most out of weekends or 3-day weekends and things like that. I do think that's, and I think what's interesting is you rewind 100 years in history, and you had to work. Like, it wasn't like you had the option to take vacations or whatever, right? It was like you had to work to provide food, water, shelter, clothing. And now it's like we work, but we work extra hard to provide better food, better shelters, better clothes.
More clothes than we need.
More, a whole lot more, especially, I know you're not married, Sam, but if you were, you would know the definition of more clothes than you need.
I mean, once you start yeah, I believe you. Like once you, even I have more clothes than I need, because when my friends get married, I need to wear something other than like a t-shirt and the dirty hat that I wear all the time and these cut off shorts.
Packing sandals.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a fascinating thing. And I think that everyone should take time to think about that, as much as you can. And there's choices, right? It's like, well, if you choose to try to take more time off, like you're not going to make as much money. You're not going to because I think that's the problem is everyone wants both sides of it, right?
Yeah.
They want progression in their career. They want more money, but they also want more time off. And it's like, well, those usually don't go super hand in hand. You get to choose one as more of a priority than the other a lot of times. But I think it is worth just constantly thinking about those kind of questions and playing those out for sure.